Well, a couple of weeks ago, the NFL Network's A Football Live series did that fantastic hour on the 93 Oilers. I don't think we would have believed it if we hadn't seen it here in Houston. Tom, you were the voice of the Oilers that year. We heard your calls and your thoughts throughout the documentary. What did you think of the show? Did they get most of it right?
You know, the one thing I think they forgot about and maybe didn't portray well enough about BabyGate is that game, we're flying the charter to New England for the ball game. And they have to put us down in Philadelphia for 2 hours on the tarmac because of the fog that's in the New England area. And, you know, you saw the thing, well, David should be here, David should be here. Well, guess what? Even if David tried, and I think he really did try to get there after the baby was born, to get up there on Sunday, he couldn't get there because when we got to the stadium in Foxborough that year, we got there about 10:30 for the kickoff, which was 1 o'clock Eastern time. And we could not see the field because the fog was still there. And the fog did not lift until about 20 minutes before kickoff because I was really wondering, I'm hoping they got a television monitor here in this booth because that may be the only way I can see the field and tell people via radio what's going on in this ball game because I've got no clue where the field is up in the press box. So even if David, you know, guys gave David a bad rap on that, but I think he really made every effort to get there. Weather just prevented him from getting there. There was no way he was going to get there.
Hey, Tom, how palpable was that tension between Buddy Ryan and Kevin Gilbride? Because that's what a big focus of the documentary was about the offense and defense really hating one another on field. The camaraderie was in the locker room, Warren Moon explained afterwards, and Sean Jones on that post-special. But just to you, I mean, how much of that was authentic in the documentary?
It was very authentic. The practice sessions were very, very heated. The guys, when they got away from the coaches to themselves, were a lot better and a lot closer and a lot tighter. And as I started to mention, I think BabyGate really became a rallying point because even though David was like the first or one of the first prime athletes to miss a game, if you will, for the birth of a child, because as you kept seeing from, you know, people like offensive line coach Bob Young, this is war. You don't leave in the middle of war for the birth of a child. You stay in the war and all that sort of stuff, because David was the first to kind of set the trend that we now see as commonplace today. I think that so much had gone on, and I really think that, you know, when it was announced before the game that David was going to be fined by Bud Adams for missing the ball game and having a paycheck taken away, I think the guy said, oh, the heck with all this sort of stuff. Let's just go out there and play football. And I think that really led to the 11-game winning streak that propelled them to the 12-4 record and got them to a first-round bye in the playoffs. I think BabyGate was a turning point and was a rallying cry within the locker room. Granted, when the two coaches got after each other and, you know, the meeting rooms are close and you can hear each other talk back and forth, that was it. But when the guys were alone, I think the guys were a whole lot tighter than it may have been portrayed in that particular, episode by NFL Films.
You're listening to Houston Sports Talk.